Meet my folks. So they kind of eyeballing me suspiciously, like somebody that worshipped idols and that type thing. And Clarice told me later, she said, Mama's kind of suspicious of you because you mowed the whole lawn. And she said, why is he over here mowing the lawn? Of course, it was Clarice's beauty that got me over there, praise God. And now she and I turned out to be big buddies since we joined the Lord, praise God. Got rid of our religion and became saints. We just do it together. Championship.
Okay.
Our school had always won the city championship with the parochial schools, but then you had to play all the schools in South Louisiana when you went down there. And we had never won, and the coach was crying when we won that game. He said, man, I thought I'd never have a winner down here. And so we were all excited. We come back into Denver, and we're at a party, and there were about, I'd say 10 guys and maybe 6 or 7 girls. Well, they all went home around midnight after the party, and they're drunk. They all drinking, and of course I didn't drink. And I said, hey guys, I tell you what, I got an idea. Y'all follow me. We fix to go out to the city zoo. And I said, it's midnight, and there's a lake there that's frozen over. So we'll walk across the lake and get into the zoo without coming around worried about the gate or whoever's out there in the zoo. And I want to take this rope and throw it down in the lion's den and plant a Confederate flag, and I want to see it in the newspaper. A Confederate flag in this pit down in the ground, 30 feet down.
Denver, Colorado.
And so I climb over the stone fence, and then there's another fence there. And I'm looking down, and this old boy, he was kind of half crazy. We called him Valentine. That was his name. I said, Valentine, go around the other side of this circle. And we threw rocks at the main line. These lions were wild. They were brought in 3 of them from Africa. Big lions. And I said, you go around there, and they've got a cave-like thing on the other side of the inside little pyramid. And if you see them come out, holler at me, and I'll run up the rope on the other side. Yeah, all right. So Dan Yacobetter, my buddy, was right behind me, and I threw that rope over the sidewalk. I didn't know there was another line in a culvert down below. Not over where the cave was, but in another location. So I'm going down. I got a hatchet in my belt. I got a baseball cap on and my tennis shoes. And I'm going down, it's about 30 feet from the top down to the bottom. And I'm not knowing that line is right there. And I passed the line up. He never roared, never came after me, anything else, yet. And so I went up top of the hill. Valentine, is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And I'm nailing my Confederate flag in, and I'm stake the high ground and hold it. And I went back down and I started up the rope. Well, Danny's horsing around with me, and he says, a line. I said, doggone it, Danny, quit now. I'm slipping on this rope. And ow, there is a line coming up for your butt. And he missed my butt by just inches, his big paw right up underneath me. And I'm hanging upside down
His
now.
feet went on up and left him hanging
And I'm
upside
holding
down.
on that rope looking down, and my cap fell off, and he's tearing my cap up. He runs up and tears the flag up. And Danny, they threw him over the side and held him by the ankles, and he reached down and grabbed my ankles.
Oh my
And
God.
they pulled me out of there, and I was so shot. I got in the car, I couldn't drive. I was just
The drunk people had to drive.
so time goes by. Mother called me one day. She said, I want to ask you a question. I said, okay, Mama, what's that? He said, did you really crawl in the line staying out at City Park? I said, where'd you hear that? He said, it's all over the store. She worked at what was the store? Sears Roebuck, yeah. Anyway, that was fun.
That's great.
Milepost. From there, they'd have 0, 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, all the way on up there to where I was going. So here's this Indian hitchhiking. So I pull over and he said, your dog bite? I said, only when I tell him to. He said, I need to ride into White Horse. Can you take me? I said, yeah, come on. And then his squaw runs out of the bush, was part of the deal. And I didn't know she was getting in the car. And I told my dog to calm down now. And so when we pull into White Horse, there's a guy running a radio station there, has a huge crowd outside, and probably 50 people standing out there where the highway went through, because I was whatever, 1,000th guy through or something. And so they were going to award me to be on the radio and all this kind of stuff. Well, I'm busy with the Indian. I'm wanting to trade for his jacket. He had a gorgeous jacket he had handmade, and I wanted to trade him a bow and arrows for the jacket. So when I pulled into White Horse, the guys talking on the microphone kept trying to get my attention, and I was stringing my bow, and there was a wooden fence across the road, had a knothole in it, and I pulled that arrow and shot it, went right through that knothole. Everybody said, ooh! And Indian said, no, won't bow and arrow.
He didn't want.
went to Boston, and one of my funniest memories was Becky was all dressed up with little white gloves on, and we go to this real fine restaurant where the Boston Tea Party took place in Boston, you know, and the head guy in the restaurant came to greet us at the door, and here my little Southern belles all dressed up. We coming in here, Audie right in the middle of us, and Becky got in the front door and she said, "Oh, somebody pooted," with her white gloves on. And everybody's sitting around watching, laughing at these Southerners that come in. And I said, "Becky, don't talk like that." She kind of looked. So we went and sat down. I went to the bathroom, and Becky told Clarice, she said, "I never knew in my whole life." And Clarice said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I never knew fish pooted." She had in her mind that fish smells something else. But she said, "Well, now we can go home. We're up here in Boston," and went up into Maine. I said, "No, Audie, we're going to put the car on a ship and ship it to Nova Scotia." She said, "You going to do what?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to go to Nova Scotia." So we drove all the way around through Canada, but Audie was always wanting to get home.
Right.
And,
Still got that in me.
well, I don't know, so many memories of Audie and Clyde, and what a precious memory it is. Audie, I love you. My mama's gone, but you still my mama.
Oh, God bless you, George.
Okay.
Kathy from Cincinnati.
We had fallen asleep. It was probably about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Grandmother got on her hands and knees and crawled into the bedroom. We were sound asleep. And she pulled out one of those little alarms that you put in your purse. She pulled a pin out of it.
I threw it in bed with it.
And she pulled it out, and it went off, and it was real loud, and we woke up screaming. It was pitch black in there. And when we turned the light on, Grandmother was on the floor with this pin pulled out. And she was like laughing at us because she was scared us.
Okay, Daddy.
Oh, Lord.
Got to do it quick. Whatever comes to mind.
Okay, I was about 4 years old in Columbia, Louisiana, and Mother and Dad both worked, and it was during the hard years, you know, for money-wise. We lived across the river from Columbia. Anyway, I had this black maid, and it seemed like her name was Mary. And I ran away from the house one day, and I can remember her chasing me all the way across the bridge, and she was pretty good size. She had a hard time keeping up with me. And I ran all the way across the bridge, downtown into Columbia. You know, it's about 4 blocks or so, you know. And I ran into the barbershop, and they knew me in the barbershop, so the guy whipped me up and set me up there and put a towel around me and had me shaving when she come in. I'll never forget her. She come in and, "Master George, I'm gonna kill you."
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear George. Happy birthday to you and many more. Love you.